What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Saturday show, Jammin with J Money, man. We back. It's another day, win, lose, or draw, man. We here every single day, man. We ain't running from nobody, man. I got my guy Teddy Covers with me today, man. So we trying to get to some cash. Make sure you go to SBR Picks / NBA to check out the articles we have and compare the odds as well over there at sportsbookreview.com, man. What's up, Teddy? Everything good with you?
I'm doing all right, man. Excited about tonight's game. And then, of course, we got a game 6 tomorrow as well. So even with football kind of taking center stage, there's still plenty of good NBA action. And I think some good opportunities likely to present themselves over the next couple of days.
Exactly, man. Damn good opportunities, man. I know I got some money to get back, man. I took some losses yesterday, Teddy. I was really bullish on the Celtics coming out strong in that game. Actually, I mean, I ended up putting some on the full game as well, but I actually liked the first quarter and first half even more because I feel like even if they lost the game, they still had to come out with a lot of fight. They started out shooting 1 for 9, Teddy. It wasn't good there in their first quarter. They got outscored 26-18. They tried to up the tempo there, score some more points, but lacked defense there in the second quarter, where they got when they outscored them 33-32. Like I say, I mean, they didn't come out how I thought, but they did end up in that third quarter, outscored them 41-25. Man, I think they went on a 20-5 run, Teddy, and they never looked back from there. What was your assessment of that game? Celtics end up getting a win and push it to a game 6, 121-108 yesterday versus Heat.
So it's been now 2 games in a row where Miami can't hit the broadside of a barn from 3-point range. I mean, you look at last night, Butler doesn't hit a 3. Crowder has been as cold can be the last 3 games. And he's made a huge, if Crowder hits some of these threes, it's a whole different game. But he went 0-6 again last night. Dragic 1 of 7 from 3-point range. Duncan Robinson went over his point total in the first quarter, and he ended up missing 8 threes. Olynyk hasn't been hitting. Iguodala hasn't been hitting. So Miami's inability to hit those perimeter jumpers has been a huge factor. And of course, last night, defensively, the Heat had a number of breakdowns. The second half wasn't pretty. That second and third quarter where Miami had, 75? Boston scored, I think, 75 points in the 2 quarters combined, or close to a 73. And there's something you said when we were talking off air that I think is spot on. So I'm going to steal your fire on this one. But when Kemba's hitting and Brown is hitting and Tatum's hitting, when Boston's big 3 are all going like they were last night, it wasn't like Kemba had a huge game, but he had a solid game. And when everybody's going for Boston, they're a little bit better than Miami. And certainly on the offensive end they are. And that showed last night.
Exactly. That's why we keep seeing that spread at 3. I know that game 5 opened at 2.5, got bet up to 3.5, then went back down 3. End up closing at 3.5. Still, though, some late Celtics money. We were wondering, not wondering, but we were talking on the show why the spread is still the same. I mean, we know that pretty much there was no adjustment still for the Heat, even though they were up 3-1 in the series. We saw Tatum kind of sort of have a not so good first half. Once again, only 10 points. Came out with 17 points in that third quarter, man. He was the big reason why they took all the momentum over, headed to the fourth quarter, didn't let the Heat come back in the game. We saw the Celtics get up in pretty much every game. In the first 3 games, they got up by double digits every single game and only came out 1 and 2 in that stretch. So we saw Jaylen Brown last night have 28. The key factor, though, in my opinion, a huge factor was Tice. The 15 points and 13 rebounds he gave them, and obviously the defense on Bam Adebayo, they really need Tice. He added a lot of energy for them boys last night, but Tatum, Brown, and Kemba all cooking it. Tatum and Brown, Teddy, is pretty much a guarantee. You definitely gonna need those. Kemba, I mean, he's just a little 15. Then you have Hayward with 10, Smart 12, and then, like I say, Tice. That was a huge 15 points there, Teddy. What do you think about Tice? He's definitely gonna have to continue to play that way if they want to push it to a game 7.
Yeah, I mean, look, for the more shots Tice takes versus Marcus Smart, the better Boston's going to be. You know what I mean? When the ratio is Smart taking 15 shots and Tice takes 2, that's not what the Celtics want. That's not what the Celtics need. And last night, Tice took more shots than Marcus Smart. And we laugh about Marcus Smart's offense, but deservedly so. The guy, I take him on my team in a minute. I love his defense. I love his rebounding. I love his ability to distribute. The leading assist man last night. But you don't want Marcus Smart jacking up jumpers. And the more shots they get by the rim, the better off they are. And that was certainly the case with Tice in the low post last night. A lot of that was off the offensive glass. I mean, Miami got crushed on the glass last night. They had 6 offensive rebounds for the entire game. And that's been their game plan, is not to crash the offensive glass, but to get back on defense. But when you're getting back on defense and giving up 121 points, clearly one or the other needs to be a priority. And last night it was neither for Spoelstra and company. That said, I mean, Miami, look at Miami off a loss this postseason. They've been pretty good in that role.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but yeah, I'm real torn with that game tomorrow. I probably won't have a single bet on it, man. I probably won't because honestly, I would have to look towards the Heat, man. I would have to look towards that 3.5 there, man. But no show tomorrow, man. But we'll talk about it maybe at the end of this show. And one more thing I want to mention, I know Jimmy Butler said they're gonna be ready to come to play on Sunday. You know what I'm saying, to get the win. He only had 3 points in that second half, so be interesting to see what happened. And Tyler Hero was held to 14 points as well. So you guys, I'm sure some sharp guys saw after him coming off that 37, breaking the books there, breaking history books. Some sharp guys probably took his point total under on that one, man. So
you know what that total was, Jay? It was 14.5, of course.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Oh man, that's tough.
Well, it went from 10.5 to 12.5 to 14.5, I think, over a 3-game span. And after the 37-point outing, the books were shading, and it probably caught a bunch of bettors last night. Worth noting, we think about as series progress that they start to bog down. That's now 3 straight overs for Miami and Boston in this series, and 4 overs in the last 5 games, or in the 5 games so far. So, and the one under was by a point. So it's been a high-scoring series, and the overs continue to cash. And we've seen the totals get adjusted. It was as low as 208, 213.5 at the close last night. And we look at the live odds right now. We're looking at 214s for tomorrow. That's the highest total of the series.
Yeah, it is, man. We know, and those closeout games, man. I mean, because we almost saw the Celtics there kind of. I mean, in that second quarter, it seemed like they played a lot more relaxed, man. And the pace, that's when they scored the 65 points there, and combined. And then, like I say, in that third quarter as well, when they outscored them 41-25. I mean, the pace was up, Tay. So you're right about that. That goes hand in hand, because even if the Celtics do feel like they're ready to go home, they still gonna play with that pace and relaxed defense. And you know what I'm saying? That when you're ready to go home, the defense is not there, focus not there, man. But you're still gonna go out there and put up shots, though. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You still gonna go out there and hoop. But we'll definitely get to that, man. But I want to get into today's game, seeing some line movement here. Me and Teddy were talking about this before the show started, that we've seen it come down to the 5. We know it opened at Lakers -6 with the Anthony Davis news. He was listed questionable. I mean, he says he's gonna play. I think this says officially he's questionable, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna give it a go. It won't be 100% though. That's for sure, Teddy. I think we liked this one before that. What you think about this one? And I see Heritage is back up to 6. So if you like Denver, you might wait get that 5.5, maybe back up to 6, Teddy.
Yeah, I'm watching the screen light up like the Christmas tree right now. They are betting the Lakers as we speak. And when I say they, it appears to be a syndicate move. The screen's gone black. So everything's moving right now with Lakers money. And I assume, I can't say for fact, but I'm assuming that it has to do very much with the fact that LeBron and Anthony Davis were both suddenly listed on the injury report last night. And then this morning, everyone's like, yeah, we're not that worried about it. Both guys expected to play. And obviously, with the game landing right on 6 in game 4, that's, right on the number in game 4, I was surprised to see it move off of 6 for this one. And now we're seeing, obviously, the concern about Anthony Davis, and then the not so concerned about Anthony Davis with the money, as you mentioned, coming right now on the LA Lakers. There were 5s this morning. Now it's pretty much 5.5s, and the 6s are starting to pop up. So I agree 100% with what you're saying about there's no urgency necessarily if you like Denver, and you didn't bet them at the 6 already. You may be able to find a 6 between now and tip-off. When it comes to this game, Jay, there's 2 key factors to me that stand out. One is that the Lakers are the best team. And when they're getting production from the Kentavious Caldwell-Popes of the world, Pope has been the 3rd best player on the Lakers in this series. when they're getting Pope to score, when they're getting the contributions from up, when they're getting playoff Rondo, when they're getting Kuzma and company, when we're seeing Dwight Howard having an impact, when Danny Green's, the best plus minus guy on the floor, when Caruso's hitting shots. For LA, to me, it's all about the role players. You know what you're getting from LeBron and Anthony Davis on any night. But for the Lakers, when the role players step up, they're the best team in the NBA. And Denver, Denver shot well the other night and still came up on the short end of the stick in that regard. All that said, so that's issue A, is the Lakers, when they get the contribution, they did. Certainly in game 4, we get a lot of contributions. Caldwell Pope was great in that game in particular. But this stands out even more to me. It's a Denver Nuggets team, and you throw out the game ones. They were big dogs against the Clippers, Lakers in game ones. Both times they were coming off a grueling series, and both times they were no shows. If you throw out the game ones and look at just the postseason, Denver has been +2 or higher 13 times. They're 10 wins, 1 loss, 2 pushes at +2 or higher. That, to me, is a team that has been mispriced. When you're looking at, all right, every time you're a dog, every time you're a bigger dog. And when I look at my power ratings for the Lakers and the Nuggets, I don't see 5.5, 6 points worth of difference. So Denver has certainly played their best basketball with their back against the wall. We've seen them rally from 3-1 in the first round against Utah, coming off a devastating game. Remember, they lost that game 4 by a bucket, rallying back against the Clippers as well. And boy, you read the quotes out of that Nuggets locker room, they're not laying down. They're expecting to win this game. They say, this is when we play. We don't like to be in this spot, but we're used to it. The Lakers have that championship mentality and the ability to close out series, and that's something that LeBron James brings to the table. I don't bet against LA lightly here, but Denver plus the points, and I have the full +6 in my pocket. That 10-1 ATS mark, catching points in the postseason, +2 or higher. Again, a couple of pushes, but 10-1 when you're cashing at a 91% clip over an extended period of time in this particular role, that's the only way I can look.
Exactly. And like you said, they feel comfortable. Let's just say this. Maybe the Nuggets have the Lakers right where they want them after coming back from consecutive 3-1 deficits, in these playoffs, not just in the past few years. They've done it here in the bubble. Mike Malone said, hey, we like playing in the bubble. So, and another thing with me with the Lakers, so I like betting the Lakers. So last game I was on them first quarter, first half, and I had a little bit on the full game. They pushed, but in that game, they were up 10-12 in the fourth quarter, and I still didn't feel comfortable with them winning, covering the full 6 on the full game. Why? The whole third quarter, fourth quarter, it was back and forth. Why? Because their offense can sputter at times. The Lakers play a lot better when they're off of a motivated loss or something like that. When they're motivated, obviously they're ready to get to the finals and they want the extra rest, and they could still win here. And the Nuggets still get the cover. That's another thing that that we get with the dog here. If you're taking whether you're taking the 5.5 or 6. We've seen that. In that game, the Lakers were really supposed to win that game by 4. The Nuggets missed both of their last field goal attempts. That game could have really went down to the wire, possibly went to overtime, man. I'm telling you this. If they would have hit just a couple of bad possessions, obviously they put LeBron on Jamal Murray. That changed everything. Dwight Howard got the start there. So be interested to see if they do those couple things again. LeBron and AD both got banged up last game, man. They're playing. They won't be at 100%. LeBron's already super. I ain't gonna say he's not super old, but he's up there in age. He's played a boatload of minutes. He got a thigh injury, along with another groin. He's been questionable, probable every game this series. Anthony Davis with that ankle sprain, he admitted himself, I rolled it pretty bad. I'll still be good to play, but I'm not going to be 100%, basically, is what he's saying. It could get tweaked again. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see. And not hoping it on the guy. Anything can happen, though. But we've seen it plenty of times, Teddy. I know you have at least 20 times in your career. Anthony Davis headed to the locker room. So, I'm not hoping for anything, but the guy's hurt out there, man. So, obviously, he's going to try to force the play to get this win here so that they can get more rest. But I like the Lakers when they're motivated off a loss. I like for the Nuggets tonight to be the more motivated team and possibly pull the outright upset. I'm taking the points, Teddy. That's the only way I could look, man, before the Anthony Davis news there. So what you any other thing you got to say about this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's in my pocket on Denver. And I want to talk about if you watched the push the other night, where the Lakers looked like they were in control, and then all of a sudden, and maybe not so much, and the game, and then Denver was right there to cover the number. If you watch the Lakers offense in the fourth quarter, there was a lot of standing around. There was a lot of LeBron dribbling and jacking up contested fall-away jumpers. A lot of that.
A lot.
They looked like a tired team, and Millsap and Jokic were both in foul trouble throughout. And that's the key matchup. I mean, if Denver doesn't have Jokic dominating, he's got to be the stud. He has to be able to outplay Dwight Howard. He has to be able to outplay JaVale McGee. He's got to be the dominant force for the Nuggets. Everything runs through him. And we saw with the foul trouble that he had, he still played 36 minutes, but the offensive production wasn't there. He only had 4 assists in the ballgame. He only had 4 defensive rebounds in the ballgame. It wasn't prime Joker. And for the Nuggets to win and or cover tonight, they're going to need prime Joker. He's the one guy for Denver that really has to step up.
Yeah, he sat on the bench for a while too. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he had 3 fouls in the first half. He had 5 fouls there in the fourth quarter. So I mean, he had to sit a lot down the stretch, and the Nuggets were still in it, man. And I'm gonna say this, man, but a few of those calls on Jokic was not a foul. I had Lakers in my pocket. I'm a realist. The LeBron fouled Murray there. I'm sure the league saw that. Everybody's blown up about that. There should have been 2 points right there. It turned into, if I'm not mistaken, turned into a 3 for the Lakers. So it was like a 5-point possession right there, 5-point turnaround. And it's tough because the announcers are gonna let the refs have it. They're letting you know that that was a foul. But anyway, Jokic, I mean, they took him out as well. He had 5 fouls, a couple of cheap ones. I don't know, man. I just feel like the Lakers, they're going to be that good when they got a little help from the refs, man. I think maybe it won't be that much tonight, man. They don't think they'll be getting that much help, man. It's still, and then the Heat, they didn't go ahead and close it out, so maybe it's not so much urgency for the Lakers here. Like I say, man, the Lakers, they're a fickle team to me because it really seemed like off of a loss, that's when they're coming. Off a win, it's like, and then you really said something there because I tell you, I know you haven't been on with us, but me and Junior mentioned this damn near every day that LeBron just dribbles the ball up. How many times he does it? No pass at all, Teddy, or he's just dribbling up, hold it for 10, 15 seconds and shoot one of the terrible mid-range jump shots. And then, he makes it. It's like, I don't care. When the ball leaves his hand, I'm saying every time that's a terrible shot, man. If he makes it, I'm like, okay, but that's a terrible shot, Teddy, and you nailed it. That's terrible offense from the Lakers, and that's not moving the ball, and that's how they got blown out in Game 3.
And here's something else that stands out, and it really stands out. All right, a well-coached team. All right, your opposing team's best player has 5 fouls. Every play that you draw up is supposed to be designed to either get him the 6th foul or make him get out of the way. And Jokic played the whole fourth quarter with 5 fouls. So did Millsap. Because LeBron was standing on the perimeter, dribbling around and jacking up contested jumpers. And that's a tired team. That's the only thing I can point to for that situation. You say Vogel's a clown or the team's tired. Maybe it's a little bit from column A, maybe it's a little bit from column B. But
maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was baffling to me to see the Lakers not driving into the paint on every possession to get Joker that 6th foul and get him out of the game. It was baffling, absolutely baffling.
It's always baffling to me to not see LeBron driving to the hole on any goal, So either he's going, and I said this on the show the other day, either he's going to get fouled or he's going to get an easy layup or dunk or both. It's that simple. I mean, LeBron James, you're 250, 260 pounds, there 6'7". I mean, come on, bro. But that's what he used to do when he was in Miami, when he was with the Heat. It was a different LeBron now. I mean, he's up there in age now. Like, I mean, what is he, 35 now, pushing 36. Them little knee to the thigh, them those don't heal the same. Don't I mean I'm just 20, I'm just what 28, man. So hey, I know I'm already getting up there. They don't feel the same the next day. Yeah, you might be able to play AD, he'll play the rest of the game, and LeBron, yeah, he good, but you lay down at night. I see LeBron, he's going to play Madden and stuff. Teddy, you know, with youngsters now. So I'm looking at Snapchat on Instagram, all that. He playing this Madden. That's what he say he does every night, playing this Madden, sipping this little wine and stuff. Okay. You keep on sipping that wine, my guy. It ain't break time. Yeah, you sip that wine on days you don't have games. You mess around, let the Nuggets win this game, man. I mean, because it's 3-1. We know that the Nuggets are coming here, Teddy. That's one thing that I'm not like with the Celtics, like, oh, are they going to pack their bags? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to be ready to go? No, the Nuggets, they've been through this. They could have been in pack their bags versus Jazz. They have relentlessness. They're not quitting here. And I mean, obviously, they're going for the win. I'm taking the points. Teddy, what you think? You sprinkle some on a little sprinkle on the money line?
A sprinkle, but not heavy. You know, I didn't load up, but there was, you know. So anytime I'm playing a single digit underdog, basically across sports, doesn't matter if it's NFL, college football, NBA. When I'm playing a single digit dog, I'm going to put a percentage of my wager on the money line. You know, for a standard unit, I may end up betting 9/10 of the unit plus the points and 1/10 of the unit plus on the money line. Or sometimes it's closer to 50-50. In this game, it was I think I put it was 8/10 plus 6 and 2/10. Put 1/5 of my wager on the money line for Denver. It's just a little bonus if they win, and you still make a decent cash if they cover, but don't win the game straight up. Obviously, they're live to win straight up. This is what Denver does. And if you read those post-game quotes the other night. They were furious about the refs. They're like, the Lakers lobbied the refs before Game 4. We're going to lobby the refs here. I saw Jamal Murray quotes on it. I saw Jokic quotes on it. I saw Mike Malone saying our staff has just sent a whole thing into the NBA, you know, about all the calls that got missed. And you don't want a team harping too much on that because then that's in their heads. Hey, we're not getting the calls. But at the same time, one would think that this game might be officiated a little bit cleaner than the last game.
He say my team my guy sent the whole book to them, boy, and I bet you they could have written the whole book. So, don't get it wrong. I'm watching the game and I got Lakers in my pocket, but it wasn't even, in my opinion. It wasn't, well, and it really helped the Lakers, and it really needed to. And despite all of that, it was a 4-point game with 20 seconds to go, and really like I said, no, it was a 4-point game with about a minute to go. The Nuggets had 2 chances to cut it with just get a 3 or, you know what I'm saying, get it within 2 or something. And they end up fouling the Lakers, you know what I'm saying, off of a missed shot twice. So if I'm not mistaken, they were up 2. The Lakers were up 2. They had cut to 2 points, man. Shit's crazy if you watch the game because Lakers playing with the momentum. I'm talking about Joe. And Joe didn't play the whole fourth quarter, Teddy. He played the majority of it, but he had to sit there because he had the 5 foul. Then they started switching him in and out there late. But they were scared of him getting that 6 foul. He did have to sit there a while, but it tripped me out even more, Teddy, because Murray still, I mean, even though LeBron was on him and it stifled a little bit, they still did enough. I mean, Grant Millsap seemed like he's coming to life now. You got Plum out there. You still can't forget about Porter Jr. off the bench. So, I mean, I'm watching the game, Teddy. I'm like, I have to be on the Nuggets the next game, Teddy. I have these guys just match up so well with them. I mean, obviously the Lakers are going to get past them here, but the Nuggets just match up so well with them here. Obviously, with them being the history of 3-1, I have to take them there. I have to, man, especially the way that they made this game look, where the Lakers actually came out motivated with reason to play, you know. So after this one, they're after win. It's just something I've been doing with the Lakers. After a loss, I love them. After a win, when they're really complacent, I don't really like them as much. It's either I'm fading them or I'm staying off, Teddy. So that's my assessment on this, my guy. Any look on the total, my guy?
So it's an interesting total to consider. It really is. You know, we've seen back-to-back overs, 3 overs in the 4 games in this series so far. We know that coming into the postseason and through that first round, the Nuggets were a pretty extraordinary over team. That's kind of, I'm not going to say faded, but, you know, they don't have more than 13-1 in the over a 14-game span, and we're not seeing that from Denver right now, not anything close to it in recent weeks. You look at the stats, you know, and again, I mean, you're going to start your basic thought on the total from looking at the statistical profile from the previous game. And you have neither team hitting well from 3, but both teams hitting well from 2. And that's been the case throughout the course of the series. All right. We haven't seen these crazy games where you're getting, one team's hitting 19 threes and the other team's hitting 17. Last time out, a combined 20 of 58, which is, below 1 out of 3. And yet when all is said and done, Denver's been incredibly efficient with their 2-point shots in the series, and that really hasn't changed throughout. All that said, if I'm playing this total tonight, I can only look at the under. And here's why. All right. As these series progress, they tend to, number one is that the opposing defense knows what the opposite offense wants to do, and they tend to bog down a little bit. Number two is that we've seen really high shooting percentage from 2-point range in each of the last 2 games. I don't know that that's sustainable long term. I mean, if you watched Jamal Murray with that, that was the best play I've seen in the postseason. That was the best play I've seen all year was Jamal Murray's layup. When LeBron had him stopped in 2 different ways and he figured out the third way to score. And that's just one of the examples of how we've seen the 2-point shooting be probably better than sustainable. Unless this game turns into a foul fest, which it could. I don't know that it will. I would lean under in here, but that's just a lean. It's not in my pocket.
Gotcha. Yeah, that man, I rewinded that play like 8 times, man. But like Jordan right there, man. And you can't forget it. I think it was against the Clippers where he did like a turnaround 360 layup, man. So this guy here, bro. I mean, I'm already respecting him. I mean, they lost some respect from me last year after losing to the Blazers in that game 7 at the house. They did lose some, but the whole damn team, not just Murray. But I mean, they came back this year. You could tell Jamal Murray has been he's been in the weight room. He's been in the gym all summer, working, man. It's showing. Everybody is on notice now. You definitely have to put a superstar in front of him, man, for damn sure. So Murray keep doing that. And that's one thing he's going to need to keep doing that. So obviously, Jokic didn't necessarily have a good game, but we're still going to need that from Murray. But you need Murray and Jokic because we know the Lakers, and it's crazy to me. I mean, they cannot stop that high pick and roll with Murray Jokic. I mean, they kind of start to try to trap it, but it's tough. I mean, then if the Nuggets hit those threes out of the double team, then that's what they did in game 3 when they smacked them boys up, blew them out pretty much. It was 44-29 quick. So the Lakers don't come to play here with that motivation, with that steam like they did. Because my thing is Lakers in the first quarter, if they don't come out hot in the first quarter, if they let the Nuggets win this first quarter, man, and stick around, I'm telling you, I don't see the Lakers coming back playing from behind in this one, man, because the Nuggets, they want to win this. They want to push it to game 6, man. So that's what I'm on, Teddy. I'm on the Nuggets. I'm with you. I got the 6 as well, man. It went down. I was like, what the hell? What the hell happened? That's because of the Anthony Davis news, Teddy. Is busy back up to 6 pretty much everywhere now. I know about game time for sure. What you think?
5.5 is the prevailing number right now. Money line on the Nuggets in the range of plus 180, plus 185, minus 210 to minus 220. If you just want the Lakers to win the game straight up. That SBR live odds page is worth having up all the time.
Right. Yeah, mine's went down, and I had to pull it back. Yeah, they had the 6-8 heritage. Somebody must have hit them boys. Yeah, somebody must have smacked them. Hey, come on, give me that seal. You guys said we finna make you come down, man. It got to be a nice little wager to do that too. But Teddy, any quick thoughts on tomorrow? We don't have a show tomorrow. Any quick thoughts? What you think? You taking the points with the Heat tomorrow, or you think about a total play?
So my gut reaction is Miami off a loss. And this is not a game that I've, it's not a fully formed thought. You know what I mean? Just like you and I have a lot of the same reactions. Just how, like, as soon as the one game's over, you're thinking about the next. Even in the third quarter of the one game, you're thinking, all right, next game. And with Lakers Denver, I'm like, if Lakers win this, I'm coming with Denver. There's not 6 points difference between these teams. I had a real thought. With Boston Miami, I've been a little bit slower to react over the last couple of games. I'm not getting I'm definitely playing this. Right. I didn't have a bet at all on last night's game. I had Miami first half, the previous game. It's been a little bit lighter. That said, Miami off a loss is the thing I'm interested in. That's the bet. And it's been the bet in the postseason. And maybe Miami first half might be the better bet than game. And that's something I'm going to think about all day. But certainly my look in that would be Miami plus the points before I went with Boston minus. And it feels like the type of game that someone's going to win on a last-minute bucket, which means, plus 3.5 could be a mountain in this game. You know what I mean? It's one of these games where, I'll tell you, I'm going to take the points, but I'll put half my bet on the money line. I wouldn't in this one. It would be probably a similar ratio today where 80% of the wager goes plus 3.5, and we just take a little taste of the money line. That the one possession, it feels like a one possession game. It really does. It's been a one possession series.
Gotcha. Yeah, I lean the Heat. I probably want. It's not that I'm scared to back them. I was all over them, and I had probably too much on them in game one. No lie. And you know what? But the thing that's crazy, that was the game where they were supposed to lose, and that was the luckiest of games. That, you know what I'm saying? Game one. Every other game they won was not even freaking close. But they game one, they made me sweat.
Oh, Tatum had that three. They had the foul.
Overtime, everything, man. I sweated. I'm gonna say my son baseball practice, sweating bullets, man. I'm telling you, man. But they end up getting it done in overtime. But then I hop out because it's not that I didn't like the Heat as the better team in the series. I did like the Celtics in the series. I thought it was going to be Heat game one, then Celtics game two, Heat game three, Celtics game four. So I thought it was going to play out. In all honesty, it's exactly how I thought it was going to play out. The game two kind of messed me up there when then I knew the Celtics were going to come back there in game three. The game four was really pivotal in my opinion. Celtics took that loss. That's really changed the series, man, because it really has them. Everyone's mind can hold that. Oh, we're down 3-1. Oh, we have to win 3 straight games. They say when we're thinking about this name, but you're still thinking about you can't stop thinking about the future. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's mind can't handle it. We saw yesterday them kind of get over hump that, and that's what's scary. There's so many moving parts with that. That series is scary, Teddy. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Celtics win the next two and win. I'm being all the way honest with you. I wouldn't be a bit surprised with the way that the Heat are playing. I'm likely not betting against them. Likely. I'm probably not betting against them again. So until maybe face the Lakers. So we'll see, man. But I would lean the Heat tomorrow, but I probably won't have a single dollar, especially the way these Sundays been lately. I don't know why, Teddy, but I feel like the Sundays in the NBA be the craziest day. Maybe it's just with me, but I noticed like since last year, this crazy shit be happening on Sundays, man. I've seen some of the craziest things. What do you think about that? Out of every day, I feel like that's the day that we see the most craziest things happen.
Here's Miami off a loss this year. 25-7 straight up, 24-8 ATS. And I think they've won them all in the postseason. They haven't lost 2 in a row in the postseason, have they? No. Miami off a loss is a one-way handicap for me. I'm either on the Heat, and maybe we look at first half as opposed to full game if we don't trust them. But I think I trust them. I'm likely to be on Miami plus the points tomorrow. I haven't put it in my pocket yet, but that, again, it's first thing Saturday morning out here in Vegas. So it's still a little early, but I would expect that before this day is through, that I'll have made a move on Miami, but I haven't done it yet.
Got you. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough one, man. Jimmy Butler did say they coming out for the win, though, so we'll see. I know my guy Teddy cashed the first half the other day with him. So even the game yesterday, they still came out and cashed the first quarter, first half. Man, they look like they're definitely the better overall team. I can't tell you that. It's just when the Celtics starting five is better. So if their starting five goes off, then obviously they can get the win. But and when they start letting the Heat bench go off, that's the difference maker. That's the difference. We said that at the beginning of the season. That's the reason why I was all over them game one as well. Teddy, any closing remarks, my guy?
Yeah, just series prices real quick. What we're looking at right now, the Lakers are like you got to lay 40 or 50 to win $1. You can get back plus 1,500 or better on the Nuggets. I think they can win 3 in a row again. That's not a bet I'm going to make. And series price for Heat Celtics is what had me prompted, but I wanted to give the other one. Minus 200 on Miami for Boston to take back at plus 180. Very similar to what you see if you parlayed the two. If you had the Celtics money line in game 4, and then in game 6, and they win, you can put it on game 7, and you'll get a very similar return. So from a series price standpoint, if you think the Celtics are alive, plus 180. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It shit scared me. I don't know. I really do think that the terrible shooting start is what plagued them, really not cash. I mean, starting out 1 for 9, it's going to be tough for you to cash your first quarter, first half. After that, it wasn't impossible. I mean, they still had cut it down to 3 or 4 right there before the first half. But that first quarter just really, the first 4 minutes there was really freaking terrible. Where they had 5 minutes through like the first 5 points through the first 5 minutes. It was terrible to come back from, man. But we'll see. Some teams play better with their backs against the wall, man. I hope we get the cash with one of them tonight. And that's what's scaring me. That's why you're still seeing that Celtics -3 there for tomorrow, 3.5, man. So it's a tough one, man. I'll likely won't have a wager tomorrow. Let's cash the Nuggets tonight, man. You know what we're trying to do. We're trying to get some cash, trying to milk the bookmakers. I got to get some money back from them, from yesterday, but it's all good, man. We in for the long haul, Teddy. Appreciate my guy Teddy for coming on with me, man. Let's cash the Nuggets. When Teddy comes on here and we're on the same pick, and it's Saturday and it's the Nuggets, we usually cash, man. Let's keep it going today. Y'all hit the like button and subscribe if you can, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in with Jam with J Money. Holler at you guys on Monday.